So this week, guys, we're doing a little bit of a different recipe that I've personally never made before. We're making a Thai chicken meatball. Now, we were gonna do these for TikTok, but I decided to do them for YouTube just because that's how the schedule lined up. Now, I'm gonna take some elements from Thai cuisine, some Asian cuisine, and obviously American. We're gonna kind of mix them together, and we're gonna make a nice tender meatball using chicken breast that's ground up, and we're gonna make a nice coconut curry sauce to go along with it. With that being said, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and without further ado, let's jump into cooking. Okay, so today we're making Thai curry meatballs. Now, sometimes you get sick eating those plain old like meatballs that are Italian. Sometimes people make like the Swedish meatballs. So this is a little bit of a different variation that I think you guys are gonna really like. What we're gonna use for this though is some 93% ground chicken. So this is a very lean cut of chicken. You could use a cut of chicken that is a little bit more, has a little more fat in it, that has like the thigh. This is just the breast meat. So to these meatballs, we're gonna add a little bit of ginger and garlic and some onion, also some soy sauce and a little bit of fish sauce. It's gonna give it that kind of flavor, that little Thai, like Asian type diffusion flavors. Then we're gonna make a nice sauce using some coconut milk. We're gonna add some red Thai curry paste, also a little bit of fish sauce and soy sauce. We need a little bit of oil to get it going. We're gonna add a little bit of green onion to finish the dish, as well as some ginger and garlic in our sauce with some red bell pepper, a little bit of lime juice for that acid to brighten it up. And then we're gonna serve that sauce with the meatballs over top of some jasmine rice. So to start this recipe off, we're gonna start by making our meatballs. So now for these meatballs, like I said before, we have a very lean ground chicken. This is about a 93.7 ground chicken. You could use the fattier ground chicken, but we're gonna test it with the lean today. This is 1 pound. We're gonna add a little bit of sweet onion, about that much, maybe 2 tablespoons or so. A little bit of minced ginger, around a half a teaspoon. Same, probably around a teaspoon of garlic. I'm gonna add some chopped cilantro. Then we're gonna add about a tablespoon each of some soy sauce and some fish sauce. This is gonna introduce those Thai flavors to our meatballs. Obviously, we need a nice big pinch of salt, as well as a little bit of black pepper. And then we're just gonna go ahead and mix this all together. And what you'll notice right off the bat is you start to really smell that soy sauce. You smell a little bit of the fish sauce. It doesn't smell super fishy. You smell that ginger and garlic in here. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take about 1 ounce or 2 of your meatball mixture, and it's gonna be kind of sticky, but you're just gonna form it in a little meatball, just like this. And then we're gonna place them over here. We're actually gonna sear these off before we make our sauce. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna finish making these meatballs, and I'll be right back with you when we go to make our sauce. So now for the sauce here, I have a 12-inch pan on a medium heat. We're gonna add a little bit of avocado oil, probably around 2 teaspoons or so. And then once that oil is hot, we're gonna go ahead and add in our meatballs. And I'm just looking for these to get a nice sear on them. It's probably gonna take around 2 minutes aside. So I'll be back with you in about 2 minutes, and then we'll give them a flip. Okay, so it's been 2 minutes. Let's go ahead and give our meatballs a flip. And as you can see, we have a beautiful sear on one side of the meatball. I'm not looking for them to be cooked all the way through right now. I'm just looking to get a little sear on them. They're gonna cook all the way in the sauce. Also, because these meatballs are so lean, they're gonna cook kind of fast. It's not gonna take long. So we're gonna let them go for another 2 minutes on this side. Okay, so now I'm gonna remove them. Now I know they're still raw. Don't worry about that. They're gonna cook in the sauce. Like I said, the goal for this is just to get a sear on those meatballs. Because otherwise, if you don't get a sear on them, you're just basically making boiled meat, and nobody wants to eat boiled meat. Now we still have a little bit of oil in the pan, so I don't have to add any more fat. So now I'm gonna add the whites of the green onion. You can also use the sweet onion if you like. The top part of the green onion is for garnish typically, or finishing the dish. You could always use the whites of the green onion in place of like a sweet onion or something like that. Don't waste the green onion. You can use the whole thing. So we're gonna use the whites in here first. I'm gonna add just a touch of oil in here. Those onions soaked it up. Also, the thing with green onions is they're not gonna get caramelized. We just want them to sweat just a little bit. Now we're gonna add in the garlic. It's about a teaspoon of garlic. We don't need much. There's some garlic in the meatballs. There's gonna be a little garlic in the sauce, a little ginger as well. We're gonna give that a stir until that garlic and ginger is nice and fragrant. So now we're gonna add in about a tablespoon of our red curry paste. You kinda wanna dial this to taste. That's probably a little bit more than a tablespoon, maybe 1 to 2. We're gonna go ahead and let that curry paste bloom for a minute. Let that get super fragrant. Mix it into the ginger, mix it into the onions. This has some nice lemongrass in there, and it has a lot of those warmings, Thai spices that you're gonna start to smell. Now we're gonna add about a tablespoon of soy sauce. We can always adjust this later. As well as about a tablespoon of some fish sauce. It's gonna add some nice umami. Give that a quick stir until the curry paste is dissolved into that soy sauce and fish sauce. Now we're gonna add our sweet bell pepper. Now I'm gonna try not to add sugar, we'll see. I may add sugar once I taste it later on, but hopefully the bell peppers, because they are sweet, will add some sweetness into our curry. Now we're gonna add our 1 can of coconut milk. Make sure you use unsweetened coconut milk. If you use the sweetened kind, it's a little too sweet for these dishes. I mean, I've used the sweetened kind before. It tastes like candy. It's way too sweet. You can always add sugar later. Palm sugar, white sugar, brown sugar. Use the unsweetened kind. So now we're gonna bring this to a gentle simmer, and I'm not going to season it with any salt. Reason why is soy sauce is salty, fish sauce is salty. It could be plenty salty right now, but I want it to simmer to let those flavors come together before I taste it. So once this starts to simmer, we're gonna add in our meatballs. So I'll be back with you in probably around a minute or two. Okay, so our sauce just started to simmer. As you can see, it's starting to thicken up a little bit, which is what I want. Now we're gonna go ahead and add in our meatballs. Now these meatballs are not gonna take long to cook. They're pretty lean, like I said, maybe around 7 to 10 minutes. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let them simmer for a little bit, and then I'll come back with you in probably around 7 minutes and we'll check them. So these actually took around 15 minutes, and what I ended up doing at the 10-minute mark is I covered them with a lid to let them cook for another 5 minutes covered, because I felt like it just needed the extra heat. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take this probe thermometer, and you're gonna check the meatballs, and you want them to be cooked to at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit internally. That's what the FDA recommends. You could probably get away with 160. So now that these meatballs are done, we're gonna go ahead and remove them from the pan, and we're gonna work on adjusting our sauce. So now we're gonna finish this with a little bit of lime juice. This is gonna add balance, gonna brighten it up. We're gonna add a little bit of chopped coriander or cilantro, also a handful of green onion. And then we're gonna give that a stir into our sauce, just so that lime juice is combined in there and evenly distributed. So now we gotta give it a taste. It actually tastes quite good. It's a little bitter, so I'm probably gonna add a little bit of sugar. So just a little pinch of sugar for balance. Let's go ahead and taste it again. That's much better. It's nice and balanced, got a ton of umami in there. I think we're gonna leave it right there. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and serve this up. So what I have here is a little bit of jasmine rice that we just cooked in a little bit of chicken stock. I'm gonna add a few meatballs right on top. Probably 3 is probably good. Add a nice amount of our sauce with some of those bell peppers. Garnish with a little bit more fresh green onion. Chopped cilantro. And then a little lime wedge right on the side, just like that. And there it is, guys. That's our Thai chicken meatballs. Let's go ahead and give them a try. To be honest, they ain't bad. I'll be honest with you. These are definitely different. The chicken meatballs are still tender, surprising enough. I didn't add any breadcrumb. I kind of wanted them to be gluten-free. I taste a lot of that ginger in the meatball, which I kind of like. The sauce, very creamy. Does have a ton of umami. It's not fishy from the fish sauce, but there definitely is a little bit of funk on there. That's why I think adding the sugar, adding a little bit of that lime juice to really balance it out, it's 100% needed. You gotta do it. The bell peppers didn't add as much sweetness as I would like. That's probably why I had to add the sugar, but definitely like the bell peppers. Adds a little bit of a veggie element to the dish. A lot of nice freshness coming from the green onion, coming from the cilantro. Serve it with a little lime wedge on there. It's a great addition. I hope you guys try this. It's a very easy recipe for you guys to make during a busy weeknight. Maybe you want an easy lunch or dinner. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you learned something, give me a like, subscribe. God bless you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.